You may already have the engineering skills, but can you explain those skills clearly in English during an interview? That is where many talented engineers struggle, even if they're native speakers. But in this lesson, I'm going to give you 50 engineering interview phrases. These will help you describe your experience, explain your projects, answer difficult questions, and most importantly, sound more confident when it matters most. Okay, are you ready? Let's dive in. Welcome and welcome back to Mastering English Communication. I am Coach Theo, your business English and professional communication coach. I think it's pretty straightforward. What we're going to do today, we're going to jump into engineering interview English. Right? That's going to be this lesson. And I think you're going to get a lot out of it. You're going to get 50 phrases that will help you get hired. Right? These phrases will help you explain your technical experience clearly, professionally, and confidently. And if you're a non-native English speaking engineer or technical person, these phrases can help you describe your projects, tools, problem-solving process, teamwork, and results in a way that interviewers understand quickly. And we are going to cover 50 of them so you can adapt and use them in real interviews in your own voice. Let's do it. First, let's look at why these phrases matter. They matter because the interview is actually a communications test. The interviewer is not only testing your technical knowledge, they're listening for how you organize information. Can you explain a problem clearly? Can you describe your role on a project? Can you connect your experience to the company's needs? So these phrases help you do that. All right. So remember, you do not need perfect English. You need clear, confident, specific English. Right? So, from a technical ability perspective, what you want to be able to explain the tools, the methods, the systems, design, testing, coding, and analysis. You want to be able to use clear English. So, how you explain it, the situation, decision, action, result, teamwork, learning, and of course, hiring confidence. What the interviewer believes in terms of that you are able to solve problems, collaborate, and add value. And once again, your goal is not to sound perfect. Your goal is to sound specific, credible, and easy to understand. Let's look at the three-part answer formula, right? Now, this is the formula to use throughout, right, an interview in terms of answering questions. You use the phrase, you add proof, you connect the role. You start with a strong phrase. For example, I have hands-on experience with. You add a specific example. Tool, the project, the system, the metric, or the result. And you connect it to the job. That experience would help me. In other words, what follows is how you would help the potential employer. And here's an example answer. I have hands-on experience with automated testing. In my last project, I helped reduce repeated manual testing by building test scripts for common failure cases. That experience would help me support your quality and reliability goals. Let's look at the roadmap. These are the 50 phrases, and they're organized by interview skill. So we will move through 10 interview skills. These are the areas where many engineers have strong experience, but struggle to explain it in English. And so we will cover experience and fit, right? We're going to cover projects and impact, explaining ideas, safety and quality, challenges, tools and proficiency, problem solving, team communication, ownership, and closing questions. Save the phrases you need most, then rewrite them with your own engineering examples and in your voice. So let's look at phrases 1 through 5, experience and role fit. I have hands-on experience with. I have hands-on experience with automated testing and failure analysis. My background is strongest in. My background is strongest in mechanical design and product validation. I've worked on projects involving. I've worked on projects involving embedded systems, sensors, and data collection. A recent project I contributed to was. A recent project I contributed to was a redesign of a high volume production component. This role matches my experience because. This role matches my experience because it combines design, testing, and cross-functional work. So just notice the word hands-on. It tells the interviewer you did real work, not just theory. Also notice that each phrase needs a specific ending. Do not say, I have experience in engineering. Say the exact area, mechanical design, cloud infrastructure, manufacturing systems, automation, quality testing, or software development. Specific English sounds more professional. Now let's look at tools, software, and technical proficiency. I'm proficient in. I'm proficient in Python, SQL, or as we say, SQL, and data visualization for engineering analysis. I regularly use, or two, and two rather, I regularly use SolidWorks to create models, assemblies, and design revisions. I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable working with CAD tools, simulation software, and technical documentation. I have practical knowledge of. I have practical knowledge of PLC systems and industrial automation workflows. I can quickly learn new tools when. I can quickly learn new tools when the project requires a new platform or standard. Now pay attention to this, right? This is the highlight. Saying I use Python is okay, but I use Python to automate data cleaning and analyze test results is much, much stronger. If you are not an expert, use accurate language. You can say, I'm comfortable working with, or I have practical knowledge of. This sounds honest and, of course, professional. Next, let's look at projects, results, and business impacts. My contribution was to My contribution was to improve the test plan and document repeatable procedures. The result was the result was a more reliable prototype and fewer late-stage design changes. This helped the team This helped the team reduce rework and make faster engineering decisions. I measured success by I measured success by defect rate, cycle time, and customer acceptance criteria. One measurable outcome was One measurable outcome was reducing test turnaround time by about 20%. Hiring managers love results. Engineers often describe tasks, but employers want to hear impact. Use phrases like the result was and one measurable outcome was. Even if you do not have exact numbers, you can describe the improvement clearly. For example, you can say fewer defects, faster testing, better documentation, or more reliable performance. The key is to show that your work produced value. Let's look at problem solving and troubleshooting. My approach to problem solving is to define the issue, isolate causes, and test possible test possible solutions. I started by identifying. I started by identifying the failure pattern and reviewing the system logs. I narrowed the issue down to a sensor calibration problem. I tested several options before recommending a design modification. What I learned from that situation was the importance of early validation. Problem-solving answers are very important in engineering interviews. Your answer should show a clear thinking process. Start with the issue, explain how you investigated, describe the action you took, and end with what improved or what you learned. This makes you sound calm and systematic. Exactly what companies want from engineers. If you're finding this information valuable, please do give us a like. Thank you. Now let's take a look at explaining complex technical ideas. In simple terms, the issue was that the system was overheating under peak load. The main trade-off was between performance and energy efficiency. The key constraint was maintaining reliability while reducing component cost. I explained the technical risk by showing test data and likely failure points. To make the decision clearer, I compared cost, risk, and timeline of each option. No secret, engineers often need to explain complex ideas to managers, customers, and non-technical teams. These phrases help you translate technical details into business language. In simple terms is very useful. It does not make you sound less technical. It makes you sound clear and helpful. Strong engineers can explain difficult ideas in a way other people can understand. Now let's look at teamwork and communication. I worked closely with manufacturing, quality, and product teams. I coordinated with 2, I coordinated with suppliers to resolve material and timing issues. I kept stakeholders informed by I kept stakeholders informed by sharing weekly progress updates and risk notes. When there was disagreement, I focused on data, requirements, and project goals. I'm comfortable communicating with both technical and non-technical teams. So most engineering jobs are team jobs. Interviewers want to know whether you can collaborate. Use words like coordinated, worked closely, and kept stakeholders informed. These words show maturity. They show that you understand engineering work is not only calculations or coding. It also shows you can communicate, align, and follow through. Now let's look at safety, quality, and process discipline. I always consider safety and reliability when I always consider safety and reliability when evaluating design changes. I follow established procedures to ensure. I follow established procedures to ensure accuracy and compliance. Quality is important because Quality is important because small errors can create larger system failures. I documented the process so that I documented the process so that the team could repeat the test consistently. I pay attention to details such as tolerances, version control, and test conditions. So the key here is that quality and safety language is powerful for engineering interviews. It shows that you are responsible. Even if your role is software or data engineering, quality still matters. Documentation, version control, reliability, security, and repeatability. Employers trust candidates who can speak about process discipline without sounding robotic. Now, let's look at ownership, leadership, and initiative. I took ownership of. I took ownership of the validation plan and final test report. I noticed an opportunity to improve. I noticed an opportunity to improve the handoff between design and production. I proposed a solution that reduced manual review and improved traceability. I led the effort to standardize project documentation across the team. I'm the kind of engineer who looks for root causes, not quick guesses. These phrases help you sound like someone who takes initiative. You do not need to be a manager to show leadership. Leadership can mean noticing a problem, improving a process, guiding a small effort, or taking responsibility for a deliverable. Phrase number 40 is especially useful because it lets you describe your professional identity. I'm the kind of engineer who, right? Then finish with the behavior you want the employer to remember. Challenges, mistakes, and pressure. One challenge I faced was One challenge I faced was a tight testing deadline before a customer review. I overcame it by I overcame it by prioritizing critical tests and coordinating daily updates. If I could do it again, I would. If I could do it again, I would involve quality earlier in the design review. Under pressure, I focus on. Under pressure, I focus on facts, priorities, and communication. That experience improved my ability to. That experience improved my ability to manage risk and communicate early. Interviewers often ask about challenges or mistakes. Do not panic. They are not looking for perfection. They want to know whether you learn and respond professionally. Use the STAR method, STAR, situation, task, action, result. Be honest, but do not blame other people. Show what you did, what changed, and what you learned. Now let's take a look at company fit, closing, and smart questions. I'm eager to contribute to. I'm eager to contribute to projects that improve reliability and customer value. I believe my skills in would be valuable for. I believe my skills in automation would be valuable for your production improvement goals. What are the biggest technical challenges facing the team right now? Use this question to show your curiosity and problem-solving interest. How is success measured for this role? Use this question to understand priorities and expectations. Is there anything about my background you would like me to clarify? Use this question to handle concerns before the interview ends. The end of the interview matters. Do not simply say, "No, I have no questions." Ask intelligent questions that show interest in the work. Phrase number 50 is especially strong because it gives the interviewer a chance to ask about any concern. It shows confidence and professionalism. You're not begging for the job. You are showing that you want to understand the role and contribute. Now, I mentioned STAR, STAR, before, and you want to practice with that. Turn one phrase into a complete answer. Situation. A prototype failed during high temperature testing. Task. I needed to find the root cause before the next review. Action. I reviewed the data, isolated the pattern, and tested 2 design changes. Result. The team selected the safer option and reduced repeat failures. Use this with one challenge I faced was, right? So this page is important. Now let's take a look at a practice drill. Make the phrase your own. I have hands-on experience with. I regularly use blank to blank. My contribution was to blank. The result was blank. This role matches my experience because blank. Your English improves fastest when the phrase becomes connected to your real experience. So certainly practice it. Your goal is to build automatic professional answers. Let's take a look at 3 mistakes to avoid. Being too general. I know engineering. What is better is my background is strongest in thermal testing and reliability analysis. Another mistake, only listing tools. I know Python and MATLAB. Better, I use Python and MATLAB to analyze test data and model performance. Or saying, no result. I worked on a project. Right? So you worked on a project, but you're not sharing a result. That's no good. What you want is my contribution helped the team reduce rework and improve documentation. So these questions help you sound engaged, mature, and serious about the role. Okay, now you have 50 engineering interview phrases. Choose the 10 that match your experience best. Rewrite them with your tools, your projects, and your results. Practice out loud until they feel natural. Now, if this lesson was helpful, comment with the phrase you want to use first. Subscribe for more professional English. Certainly give us a like. And also, your comments helped us. So we appreciate your comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video as we continue our linguistic adventure together. Take care, everyone.